Coming up on Mountain News this morning, despite the weather, Kentucky lawmakers return to Frankfort to start the 2025 legislative session. Plus, the hidden danger in shoveling your driveway.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Madison Carmouche. We're just past 6:30 this Tuesday morning. We're going to go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it is pretty to look out there, but it's not necessarily safe to drive in.
It sure isn't. And even the snow that's on the side of the roads, as pretty as it is, does not mean it's that nice fluffy snow that you can play and make snowmen in. It's kind of on the harder side of things. We had that rain that fell and then that cold front that freezed it, compacting some of that snow. And we still do see a couple of snowflakes left from this system. Now, these will be tapering off as you're heading into the early morning hours and into your afternoon around that 11 o'clock mark. But just something to note as you are driving this morning. Now, here are those current temperatures, though. Something else that you need to make sure you're aware of, because we are on the colder side of things, looking in the upper teens and 20s today. And as we go into the afternoon, not seeing much improvement there. Feels like, though, throughout the day will be quite cold. We're seeing teens not much higher than that, some low 20s for those feels like. But what I really want to emphasize as we're going into Thursday and while we're extending that first alert weather day is some of those feels like temperatures could get quite low, seeing the single digits across eastern Kentucky. But we'll see those temperatures on the colder side of things with that slight chance of snow this morning. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. We have new details about a crash in Wolfe County that killed 2 people, including a Letcher County man. That crash happened on Kentucky 15 on Friday. KSP says they received a call about that crash near Hunting Fork Road. Carl Osborne of Thornton was heading one direction on the roadway when his vehicle crossed into the path of David Lemus Castro of Lexington. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene. Another person was flown to UC Medical Center for chemical burns. In Laurel County, the sheriff's office is investigating a shooting. The incident happened Sunday near Wren Road. Investigators say 2 men were arguing about property when James Smith reportedly fired a shotgun. Officials say the pellets from the gun hit the man in the chest and face. Smith was charged with first-degree assault. A Wayne County, Kentucky man is facing charges after police say he threatened to kill someone and have a shootout with law enforcement. Police were dispatched to a home on Cedar Bluff Road Sunday due to a complaint about an intoxicated man with a gun. The man had reportedly fired the gun the night before from his front porch. Police arrested Jason Piercy. He was taken to the Wayne County Detention Center. In Letcher County, police are asking for help finding a car in connection with a motorcycle that was taken. Police say they are looking for this vehicle on your screen, which was reportedly involved in the theft. The motorcycle was reportedly stolen at approximately 4 in the morning on Friday near Spring Branch Drive in the Jeremiah community. Here is a picture of the motorcycle. You can contact KSP Post 13 at 606-435-6069 if you have any information about the case. Lawmakers are scheduled to return to Frankfort today to start the 2025 legislative session. Governor Beshear says that will happen despite the weather. Lawmakers are supposed to gavel in at noon, but leadership could make adjustments to the schedule. Tomorrow, Governor Beshear is scheduled to give his annual State of the Commonwealth address to a joint session of State, House, and Senate. KET will carry the governor's speech live Wednesday evening at 7. State and local leaders are urging people to stay safe. Yesterday, Governor Andy Beshear held a briefing to share the state's response. He says crews have been working around the clock to clear roads. He's urging people to stay indoors so crews can safely do their job.
Remember, the folks that are out treating the roads and trying to restore power, those are Kentuckians. They've left their family today. They want to go home to their family tonight. Remember, you being safe and staying inside makes them safer. If you have to be on the roadways, please go slow, because their safety is in your hands, just like they are trying to make sure that all of us are safe.
Air temperatures will remain below freezing today through at least Thursday night. The governor says if you do not have power back on by Wednesday or Thursday, you might need to find a warming center, and there are several open across the region. If drivers need to get out and end up stranded, state troopers have a few tips. Drivers should make sure their vehicle is equipped with an emergency kit because of possible long wait times. The kit should include everything from blankets to snacks. First responders may be dealing with a high frequency of emergency calls, and getting to a stranded vehicle could take time.
If people are out on the roadway and become stranded, they may be there for a little bit. The safest place for them to remain is inside the vehicle. Make sure their vehicles are topped off with fuel, and also make sure if they do become stranded that their exhaust pipes are free of blockages and obstructions.
If drivers are in a non-emergency situation, they are encouraged to call the non-emergency state police Post 13 line at 606-435-6069. If you push yourself too hard when shoveling the snow and ice off your vehicle or sidewalk, you can put a lot of stress on your heart, which can increase your risk of a heart attack. It is important to take frequent breaks. The cold is also a factor as your body works to keep itself warm outside. Experts say those shoveling driveways and sidewalks will want to follow a certain technique.
Then, the technique for shoveling snow matters as well. You push rather than lift. And the most important thing, though, is knowing the signs and knowing when to call for help.
The doctor says it is best to dress in layers. You should also wear a hat and cover your mouth so you do not inhale cold air. There is a chance your pipes may freeze during the bitter cold. There are some things you can do to prevent a pipe burst. That includes making sure access to crawl spaces is closed off and keep a steady drip of water coming from your faucets. If your pipes do freeze, shut off the water, then wait for them to thaw on their own or call a plumber. With Kentucky under a state of emergency, Attorney General Russell Coleman has activated the price gouging hotline. Anyone who suspects price gouging can report it online or by calling 1-888-432-9257. Progress is being made to restore power in southern Kentucky. At one time, thousands of people were without electricity, but conditions have improved. That's also where road crews were kept busy with not only clearing roads of snow and ice, but also removing fallen trees. WYMT's Phil Pendleton gives a look at conditions in Rockcastle.
Every hour we can get that we stay above freezing is a plus for us. So
Rockcastle County officials met early Sunday with a worst-case scenario plan they are thankful they did not have to put into place.
So we was pushing snow, then of course it turned over to a wintry mix. Then before we knew it, we had ice hanging out of the trees on the power lines.
By midnight, that resulted in more than 1,000 customers without power. Jackson Energy went to work, and by late Monday afternoon, all but about 300 or so had been restored.
What was happening, just a tree would fall down, knock a transformer out, or break a line, so that would shut off 60 to 80 homes. So.
While power crews worked to get the lights back on, county road crews did clean up work on roads and arrived to remove trees that had blocked them. But all the precipitation caused some other problems.
But the roads has a lot of water on them. I mean, we've got some areas that the roads is underwater where it's rained so much.
County officials also say even though the situation has improved, you still need to be very careful and cautious. The wind may have blown snow back over the road that was cleared, and weak trees could still come down, and you might not see it going around a curve. A spokesperson for Jackson Energy says they have had 150 linemen working in the field, including mutual aid support from Tennessee. Thousands of Kentuckians are waking up in the dark. Around 35,000 people are without power. That's down from about 80,000 yesterday morning. Kentucky Utilities says it has more than 1,000 people working to restore power. They say some areas should be restored by 11 tonight. Pictures shared by Kentucky Power show the damage linemen are responding to. Crews say fallen trees caused many broken electric poles and downed power lines. They say about 1,000 crew members are working the outages, including the out-of-state crews. And don't forget to send us photos of the snow inside the WYMT First Alert Weather app. We've already received so many pictures of your snow-covered mountains. If you take a look at your screen, you'll see the link in the story posted on our website in use, making people's pictures able to be viewed directly on air. The pictures are coming in from counties across the coverage area, and it's nice to see the snowfall before that freezing rain set in.
We still have one winter weather advisory that is out for Wise, Virginia. Now this will be expiring soon at 7 a.m. But just something to keep on your radar this morning. Now we had some fog this morning. For the most part, it has since then cleared out of our area, but you still could be running into a patch or two of fog as you're heading on the roads, which is something you need to be prepared of, as we do have some ice on some roads and some snowflakes that could be falling in the center parts of our region that will be clear by the time we're getting to that 11 a.m. hour. Now, next 12 hours, though, we will see those temperatures warming up very slightly, getting to the upper 20s for today. Stay with us. More mountain news and weather is on the way.